interaction. So no problem at all. Perfect as far as we're concerned.
Okay, great. Thanks. Yeah, now I think we can start. Uh, yeah, yeah, I think we can start. Okay. Hey, welcome to Unique's workshop on unique NFTs in games. It's wonderful to have Max and Filip here with us today. So, in this workshop, they'll show you a convenient way to create and manage NFT tokens and collections. We're recording this session so you can always refer to it after the workshop. So, please feel free to leave any questions you have in the chat below. So, let's give a warm welcome to Max. All right, Max, the stage is yours. Would you like to come to
Go
the
ahead, Max. Before Max starts, I'll just give a short introduction in terms of the challenge itself, what the idea was in giving this challenge, and what the approach will be. The challenge itself is using NFTs in web games. It's kind of an interesting territory, as you might have noticed in the recent kind of dead games event that happened with the story about the dead token and so on. There was a dead mine game which implemented unique tokens as part of the game, and what the experience from that was is actually something we'd like to kind of really make a common experience for all the developers and to give them a chance to try it. And the experience was that the developer that created the game didn't have any previous experience with working with blockchains and NFTs specifically. And the path to implementing NFTs was such a breeze, and it happened so quickly that it was actually a very kind of surprising experience for him. And this is something that we wanted to convey. So this challenge is conceived as a make your own game, do it in React or in whichever format you want. Using JavaScript would be the most preferable way, and and use the JavaScript TypeScript SDK that Unique Network is providing to build in the NFT functionality. The approach that you'll take in implementing the NFTs is up to you. You can really do anything that you want, and specifically in this case, there is a clause that usually comes along with the hackathons where you say, like, well, you have to develop a project specifically for this hackathon. Now, I'm pulling the pins out on this one, and I'm going to say, like, look, if you have a project that you've already created and you want to adapt it with the unique network NFTs, that will be a really, really good case of what we want to show through this hackathon as well. And that is, there is no reason why you should not kind of take out from your drawer something that you've already created and made and adapt it quickly to implement unique networks NFTs for your project if you feel so inclined, and if you want to enrich your project with NFTs. What we want to show is that it is really simple, that it happens really quickly. The development time is just a matter of few days, and we want to demonstrate to you what are the steps to accomplish this, to touch upon the basic concepts that you'll be coming across during this task. And Max will now kind of go through the steps themselves, the concepts behind them, and how it's done in real life. So that was my kind of a small introductory kind of mention regarding this. Max, I give the stage to you.
Really happy to be here. So thank you, Filip. Thank you, Elaine. So I'm here to show you some valuable assets you can use in your projects. And after that, Filip will show his presentation, and I think in the end we will answer your questions. So there are at least three main difficulties most of developers are faced with during the integration with any blockchain, but of course with Unix too. One of them is connecting with wallets. The other one is interacting with wallets and sending some transactions, and the last thing it's like putting everything together. So let me share my screen.
And if I can jump in, Max, the connecting of the wallets and actually providing the presence and the identity is what we call the Web3 aspects of any kind of DApp and a distributed application that you're working on. And from that point on, once the connection is established, the Web3 link made, you'll see that the interaction with the blockchain is really kind of flows from that step.
Yes, correct. So I will show you some assets you can use, and I'll drop all the links in Discord. So first of all, how to get started is of course our documentation. There is a lot of useful articles on how to get started working with SDK. Also, there are more tutorials in the tutorial section. If you want to learn about more complex scenarios, here you can find guides regarding to accounts and of course SDK and VM part. I will mention in the next section. So if you are prefer to learn by doing, we also have some guides on how to mint tokens. Here you can find the workshop on mass minting NFTs. This tutorial is built for someone who doesn't have extensive programming knowledge, but still you can find a lot of scripts here. Some of them is how to establish connection with SDK and with our network, and also what's also is very important, and it's a bit of tricky part, is how to create a collection or NFTs. It's super easy basically, but you still need to specify metadata, and the easiest way to understand how it could be done, you can just walk through these examples.
We'll provide the links to these, of course, later on through all the channels that the developers have to access the data.
Yeah, sure. So next, if you are a Solidity guy and you prefer to work with familiar toolchain, we also support EVM. You can mint NFTs, collections, and do a lot of things. So you can, of course, you can use smart contracts in your applications. One very useful library we provide is Solidity interfaces. This library helps you to work with our native substrate palettes, but utilizing the EVM tools.
Max, let me clarify a point on that for our audience. So the unique network provides a set of unique features that really, I mean, I'm using it as a pun, but they are unique features that are specific to our blockchain. And what we call features are actually certain capabilities and functions that you can call to perform very specific and complex actions, which would be a nightmare to program from scratch. So what are these features? Well, we start off usually with the idea of sponsoring. So sponsoring is one of the features, but other features are related to the nature of how tokens can be created and utilized. For example, one of the features is nesting. It doesn't take any function calls to enact it. It is performed by sending a token to a token. The reason for this is because in the unique network, the NFT tokens are fully fledged objects which have addresses, right? So that is a feature of the blockchain that is built in and doesn't need any additional functional calls to other than send to actually enact. There's no special like nest call that nests NFTs. No, what you do is actually you send an NFT to an NFT to enact this. So these are the types of features that are actually available on the blockchain, but some features require special calls, and those features are like creating refungible tokens and also creating specific characteristics of the NFTs. And these features are not solved in the EVM by recreating that functionality in the EVM through Solidity code, but are in fact created as interfaces to the original substrate calls that are the ones that provide the functionality of the blockchain, which means that when you're utilizing Solidity interfaces, you actually don't need to program almost anything in terms of what is already provided as the core feature sets of the unique network. And the core feature sets, as I already mentioned, like sponsoring, nesting, creating bundles, creating refungible tokens, creating dynamic tokens, and a lot of them which you can actually review on our site. Sorry for that injection. Max, please continue.
Thank you very much, Filip. Yeah. Yes, you can use this Solid interfaces as Filip mentioned to create collections, and you don't need to deploy your ERC 721 contracts. You can just use our native palettes through these contracts. We have two precompiled contracts. One helps working with collections and NFTs, and the other one is for contracts. One of the advanced feature we provide is gasless experience for users. So you can basically specify who will pay transaction fee for instead of your users. So I will also show you some small demo on that. Let me actually proceed to this demo. So in this Solidity interfaces repo, you can find you can also find a lot of docs in, of course, in documentation. But here's two precompiled contracts. One of them is working with collection, and one for working with contracts. So you can basically connect to Opal network or to unique network, and just connect to these precompiled contracts. Let me show you how it looks like. So we of course need an API for connecting to collection helpers contract, and yeah. Let me clear it. Yes, and that's how it looks like. So of course you can do everything from the others or your favorite tools, but it's a bit easier to understand how it works through the Remix interface. So this precompiled contract has some functions you can just call natively through the your familiar tools, and you can create just native collections. Let's create one. For example, this one. Let's call it Angel Hack collection. And this again, Angel Hack collection.
Call it Angel Hack demo collection. There is an Angel Hack collection already. I think that is part of the. Yeah, right. Thank you.
So yeah, we should put some Ether for creating this collection. We need two unique tokens.
So yeah, you will need to have unique tokens to perform it on the unique network. But if you're using the Opal network, there is a faucet, which we will also provide the address to. Actually, it's a Telegram link where you can get these valueless token for development purposes, which, yeah, there we are, Opal, exactly.
Yes, correct. And here is our collection. It's actual unique native collection that is created through the EVM tools. So super easy. So all the advanced features are available through the Ethereum interface. So just play around if you want to understand more with this library.
At this point, Max, I have to. Sorry, Max, I have to interject at this point and mention, but do note on this. Like Max is currently showing the capabilities that are available through the EVM, but I want to make a note that this is not the primary path we usually recommend for creating games and so on. This is just to show you that should you choose to use this path, it is fully functional, and it is really easy to do it if you feel comfortable through the Solidity. There is, of course, a way to connect Solidity and JavaScript as well. I don't know if we'll be going into that this time, Max. I hope we will, but primarily we will be showing you how to use the JavaScript SDK to perform all these actions through a much easier path and much faster development path time. So just wanted to clarify on that note so that you don't get confused or why are we displaying now an EVM when we were talking about JavaScript. Just we wanted to provide you an insight into how both paths are open for the development. And if you feel comfortable with this one, you can play with this path as well. But the primary path, the easier one probably is the JavaScript path.
Yes, correct. Actually, this is also JavaScript experience because we don't need to compile and deploy any contracts. We interact with it just using JavaScript. So But okay, let me proceed to the demo of working with accounts and SDK. So if you getting stuck with you know, how to put it all together, how to okay, you just understand what is SDK and how to create an instance, how to mint tokens from Node.js and so on. But now you need to build some UI user interface. We prepared some boilerplate code. You can use in your project. You can start with it, or you can use it in just to learn on how to connect everything together. So again, we provide this link in the Discord server, and let me just show you how it looks like. This is that project that up and running. The UI is not so great, but still the main idea of this project is show you how to work with accounts. Oops, I need to start my server again. Let me run it. So yes, here you can find how to work with accounts, how to work particularly with MetaMask and Polkadot.js account.
Hey Max, so sorry to cut you. I can't really hear you very clearly.
Yeah.
You mind speaking louder so that we can capture it on the recording as well?
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
And wake up everybody in the building. No, just okay. No, that was a joke. Sorry.
Sorry. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, let me. I will try to speak loudly. So this example shows you how to connect with how to connect to MetaMask and Polkadot. Also, how to create local accounts. You can find useful examples. For example, here we can generate our new local account. Let's call it Joe. Some password. And here it is, how to work with them, how to send transactions, and how to sign messages. You can find the example of how to connect all these accounts to SDK and how to execute transaction through the SDK. So if you put it together with guides, you will see here in documentation you can easily need some NFTs and collections. So please play around with it if you get stuck and if you don't know how to continue, how to work with SDK. This is the easiest way to connect to SDK. So basically that's it. I think Filip has some presentation to show you, and after that we will answer your questions.
Yep. Well, here we go. So I won't be doing a complete presentation. I just want to make a note on existing tutorials and workshops that were recorded in previous sessions, which are very, very illustrative and which might help you a lot in answering some of the basic questions. Let me share my screen for a second to kind of guide you through where these where this can be found. So if you go to the unique network main site on YouTube, you will be presented with this page. There is a section with the playlists, which has workshops and tutorials. If you enter, let me stop this one. If you enter the workshops and tutorials, there are two specific tutorials that I wanted to illustrate here, which will be very, very, very kind of informative for all this that we were presenting here, especially the web. For those developers that are coming from Web 2, there is a presentation called From Web 2 to Web 3 with Unique SDK, which goes over the really, really basics, all the from the elementary start of creating a wallet to connecting that wallet to the SDK. Using Swagger to access the RESTful API and to monitor transactions, to using the Polkadot JS wallet to, as Max showed in this case, to track what is happening on the blockchain. All these elements that are part of the development cycle that are necessary for kind of tracking what is going on is demonstrated hands-on in this From Web 2 to Web 3 with Unique SDK. And I'll just run through it very shortly to show you what you can expect from them. The first part, so there is a, of course, playlist here that is very detailed, which you can visit. And as you see, they're very kind of, we try to make it so that you can just find the right time for crucial kind of frequently asked questions that might occur, such as how do you access the Opal faucet? How do you set up the environment from zero? What is the base URL for Opal? How does it differ from the other blockchains? How can you change them if you're going from development to production? How do you create a signer? How do you transfer tokens? How do you create a collection? What is a schema? And how do you access IPFS data, such as images or other digital assets that you want to connect to the NFT? A lot of that is here covered hands-on, which means we go through all the steps. We go through all the troubleshooting when things come up. Everything was recorded, even with the kind of errors that pop up that might happen, how to resolve them, how to find out what's going on currently. And each of these stages is kind of explained through the whole development cycle, going through every single step of this. So it kind of gives you an experience of what your development cycle would look like and what are the tools that are being used. There is one more presentation which is very interesting in this workshops and tutorials list, which I want to kind of point out here and kind of point to. That is the IBC Rapid Development with the SDK presentation. So this presentation is very similar to the one Web 2 to Web 3, but now it's geared more towards rapid development procedures, like what steps do you need to run through to accomplish the complete cycle of creating a complex NFT creation, which means here creating the wallet just is mentioned, but then we immediately go to how to create a signer from connecting a wallet. How then do you create a collection minted token, and then jump over to the part of what is the structure of a schema, which defines how your NFT is actually recording data, metadata on the blockchain, and then jumps at the end at how do you actually nest an NFT under an NFT. So in a sense, provides you the whole path from beginning to end of what it would look like if you were to sit down and from scratch create everything. So the interesting thing about the approach that is being taken here in these tutorials is that you can really go through them as they're happening and produce the end results themselves. Also check their creation on the unique scanner, or you can use the sub scanner interface itself as well. It supports unique tokens. And also nested unique tokens as well. So it runs through the complete kind of steps necessary to accomplish everything that you might want in relation to the NFT creation. Now, that is regarding the creation of NFTs, but the part that is interesting is how you will then connect your JavaScript game or React game with all this using TypeScript, which is what the challenge is, what we want to see, and which kind of opens the doors to your creativity and to your kind of challenge to make this happen. So I'm repeating again, if you've already created the game and it's standing on a shelf, virtual shelf in your computer somewhere, do not shy away from the idea to kind of give it a try and implement NFTs atop of that. Our SDK is kind of the perfect solution to give you a chance to breathe in a new context in your game, and might even surprise you with what roles NFTs can actually play in the game. If you want to build one from scratch, yeah, go for it. Like that would be the big plus in this whole concept. So with this, we kind of conclude this presentation. We will, of course, present all the links of the mentioned presentations, demos, and so on, apart from the YouTube channel, which I believe every single one of you can find without any link. Although I do have to mention, if you type in unique network, you will be surprised that there are actually 3 unique networks. One of them is some couple. I have no idea what they're about, but you'll recognize the token among of the 3. The one with the unique token is the one you want to enter in. So if you pop into that one and find out that you're actually observing a life of a couple, don't blame us. We're a unique network. It's quite logical for us to have a channel called Unique Network. So there you go. All right, that about wraps it up.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Philip and Meg. Um, just wanted to check whether it's recorded. Yeah. Okay. Yes. All right. I think my colleague captured that. Okay. Thank
I hope.
you.
Yeah, I hope he did, because I wasn't recording, and it would be nice to have this presentation as well.
Yes, we have it. Thank you so much for your
Perfect.
time. We'll catch up over Discord then. Thank
Perfect.
you.
Thank you so much, Levine.
Bye. Have a good
Goodbye,
rest.
everyone.
Mm,
Yeah,
bye.
thank you.